the ANC, which has to push its, what's why here's ANC, which has to push its deployees to do what to do. Because what we're raising is very important, and not only for us as women, but for the country. And I think it is important, and I do trust that the ANC take it serious and ensure that its deployees implement what we have put in the memorandum.
SG, I just want to know, you were speaking about the fact that some say we've seen these marches before, 16 days of activism. It's almost as if the government is marching against itself. Your response to that?
This march today was a broad front of NPOs, NGOs, and political formations. That is exactly what this country needs. You will never win the struggle against gender-based violence without a social compact between organizations. And the Women's League have led from the front. And mobilizing women, mobilizing NGOs that do a fantastic job in terms of the fight against gender-based violence. You need to mobilize, you need to conscientize. We are all activists of a struggle against gender-based violence. That is what this march has been about. And we're very proud of our Women's League in terms of this march here today.
And we saw that the minister gave the recent statistics, 2,500 women between April and September this year. I hear you saying we need to conscientize, mobilize, but doesn't it fall squarely on government if certain aspects of society are not doing well? We've got poverty issues, unemployment, alcoholism. Do not these are bigger contributions to GBV than conscientizing and mobilizing?
The movement in itself, in terms of the memorandum, if you listen very well, it has got a set of demands and time frames. And the government has been here before, where in which it created a broad platform and committed to certain time frames in the struggle against GBV. The Women's League at the end of the day is part of civil society. And therefore, it is important to hold even our deployees and government. And that is why people who are just politicking and talking about marching against yourself don't know activism. And a party and an organization like the Women's League is an organization of activists. And activism and mobilizing and be at the center of the struggles that they are leading here today, and which is what I think is important for our country. Thank you.
Can I just ask one question?
Let's change to ask you a question. Yeah.
It's Jamila Mata from EWA. What is the likelihood of actually getting what we've requested on the memorandum actually being achieved? Do we have a timeline? Do you know when those things can be implemented?
The Women's League can respond to that.
Thank you very much. My name is Sisi Tola, the president of the Women's League. We are very happy to have you in this march today. We are ANC Women's League, of course. By the arrangement of democracy, we are employees of the ANC. I'm a Minister of Social Development. In the 30 years we are in democracy, a lot has been done. Remember, at some point, South Africa did not know about gender-based violence until this movement introduced it to an extent of bringing the concept of 16 days of activism to link it with the world and the globe to make sure that we fight this scourge. And as such, our government has made a lot. Everybody is now aware. True that we are still calling upon to be intensified mobilization and more education. What we are doing, if you remember, just on the eve of 29th of May 2020, the President of the Republic promulgated a law that seeks to confront directly gender-based violence. Before that, the community departments and everybody else was doing something, but there was no coordination. And you would be able to do what, who does what and when. You could not even quantify that. But with that, he has introduced, for instance, as the Minister of the Social Development, I have a responsibility to coordinate and make sure that all the aspects of gender-based violence are taken. And in the center of that is what we're talking about, to involve women into the economy of the country so that they don't rely on individuals, but they can stand on their own and be able to put bread on the table for them to live and lead their lives. So as government, We cannot say we have been able to conclude and dealt with gender-based violence and femicide tomorrow. It is a sketch, as we have agreed, and everybody is saying so. Unfortunately, as a country, we are lagging behind, but we have introduced laws that seek to deal with it. Yes, we might think that we are nowhere, because on a daily basis, we get reports that a woman has been raped and a woman has been killed, which is devastating all of us. However, we must never stop to soldier on and make sure that we make the society aware, we implement those laws that exist, as we have done today, punch holes to those that are not effective, and call for speedy implementations for those that are existing already. And this is what we are calling upon as Women's League and our partners, to make sure that in areas where the laws exist, let there be a clear implementation. Where they exist and there's tardiness in the implementation, we are calling for agility in that. So we are here so that we are not alone in raising these matters, but also we might make sure that the victims seated in their corner, they've got somebody somewhere who understands their plight, who work with them. And this is why, as Women's League and our partners, informed by ANC policies, we are very, very clear that this fight is going to proceed until we get satisfaction to say we have dealt with gender-based violence. Remember, South African people fought apartheid when they were united. Remember, after COVID-19, we were devastated with this gender-based violence. We were devastated first by COVID-19 itself, and the nation had to unite against COVID-19, and one of the countries that was able to deal with COVID-19. And hence today, we are calling upon the society to unite in fighting the scourge. We call it scourge because at some point, would remember, we had a devastating experience with AIDS and HIV. And here we are today in South Africa. We are counted with countries that has been able to deal with. Of course, it has not gone yet, but to an extent, we have systems and laws that deals with them. To an extent, there are resources that are really dealing with HIV decisively. And this is why we are persistent in calling for unity in action and really say to government, move faster. If there are policies that don't exist, we identify them and put them in place. We will come back to report to our stakeholders. We will make sure that they are aware of where we are, so that people can have trust in the work that they are doing. Remember, some of them don't belong in political organization, but their interest is to make sure that somebody deals with the gender-based violence decisively. Thank you very much for you.
Sorry, last question.
Maybe.
No, go. Okay, mine's separate. It's for you, SG. It's regarding the NWC and KZN PEC tomorrow. What is on the agenda, as there are concerns around possible disbandment in KZN? Could you tell us what's on the agenda?
Well, you will recall that after our visit to KZN and Gauteng, we made a commitment to the provinces that they will come back after we have reflected on the state of organization, and then we would like to chart a way forward collectively. So that's what this engagement is about. It has got nothing to do with disbandment. It's about strengthening our organization and ensuring that in the two provinces where we have been hammered, how do we recoup and all of that. So all solutions are on the table in terms of what needs to be done, but we equally want to hear also from the provinces, as they have been seized with the matter of building the ANC. We are on a big mission of rebuilding, and we are grinding, and it's happening like nobody's business. We are an active party. We have analyzed, we have seen our weaknesses, and we are clearer about what needs to be done. So engaging with the structures, talking to them, exchanging and all of that, it's all about building and rebuilding the ANC going forward. Thank you very much.
I just have one more question. So gender-based rights activists have been calling for
in Greece, we're the only country which has 50% is dedicated.
Issues with the and how women have been dying even after the protection order has been restored. So has the protection, what is the plan with reviewing the legislation of the protection order?
As we have alluded to that in our memorandum, that where the laws exist, we have identified and saw shortcomings. We are calling upon for reviewal and strengthening in particular. Yes, we know for a fact that, in fact, in South Africa, protection order is a deathbed. You surely die after having that protection order. This is how things bad they are. Hence, we are saying the department of that is responsible for that. Let's relook at it. It does not mean that it does not exist. It's because the perpetrators are daring to an extent of even killing when that court order is in a woman's hand. And this is why in provinces, out of 9, 4 we've established shelters where our women can run to when that situation arises. Of course, they are not enough yet, but in the next financial year, we'll make sure that those shelters are in all 9 provinces. We'll make sure that they are in all districts, as President have called for district development strategy. So this is where we are, because we know, as you have correctly said, once she holds that order, it means majority of time we get productive to her. So we are doing everything in our power to make sure that at least women don't die under the hands of the victims. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.